This is The Big Shut-In, Stories from Quarantine. My name is David, and stuck here in my house with my family for the foreseeable future, I wanted to talk to other people about what they're going through in this evolving catastrophe that is the COVID-19 virus. Because while we're all stuck at home, or should be, that means very different things to different people and presents a wide range of different problems. So in each episode, you'll hear some of my own thoughts, feelings, emotions in the moment of a particular day, and then a conversation with a friend about what they're handling and how they're handling it. I'm hoping it will help you, the listener, find some inspiration to deal with your own drama in this bizarre moment, whatever it may be, or at least let you know that you're not alone. Even if you are, alone. So it's Monday, March 16th, 2020. It's 10:41 p.m. And it's the end of the first real day of everything going completely haywire here in New York City. For me, until today, it didn't really become real how disruptive and different and strange the next few weeks, probably months, are going to be. Even when the news was coming from Italy and China and everywhere else about what quarantine looks like and how that was going to play out. And even when it became apparent that what was being done or not done or done badly and that it was not going to be contained, I think there was still a lot of resistance to understanding that. At least I resisted understanding that. And I was still, just last week and a half ago, I was really kind of blowing off the idea of quarantine and of sort of writing it off as overreaction. But overreaction or not, it's what's happening, and it's very real. Schools officially were closed today, and that left those of us who are parents in a difficult situation where we're trying to negotiate this new world of work and this new world of shopping, of finding supplies and holding up. We're forced also to homeschool our children, whatever that means, in addition to doing the jobs we were doing before, but doing them with less resources. It's scary, and I honestly have not felt good today. I'm worried, I'm scared, and I don't know. I'm starting to understand what tomorrow is going to be like, and the next day, the day after that. What April's going to be like, what May is going to be like, I haven't any idea. And things are going to be weird here for a while. Restaurants, bars, theaters are shutting down. Tourism is gone. Hospitality is gone. And all of those people are out of work now. Everyone who has to do something in the physical space, with the exception of postal carriers and delivery drivers, are just at home sitting on their hands. Those of us who are lucky enough to do something that is digital, involves, pushing emails around or creating things that are made of pixels, are doing that from home and hoping that we still have customers, clients, and jobs. I'm not worried about health right now, but I'm worried about money. I'm worried that things are going to fall apart, and with all of those industries on indefinite pause and all of those people out of work, that things are going to get desperate, and that there's just not going to be enough money passing around from hand to hand for it to reach enough hands. Anyway, here's my friend Angie. She's a graphic designer who lives around the corner from me here in Queens with her husband and 2 daughters. Winnie is 7 and Marion is 5.
You know, I'm okay. It's been a day, as you well know.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. It's kind of why I'm doing this. I feel like this is different from anything I've ever experienced before. Like in every...
Yeah.
What was today like for you?
Honestly, I feel like I was bracing for a typical sort of weekend crazy kid kind of day. Like everybody's at each other's throats and the kids are going crazy and just being like ending the day and in like a big sigh and being like, oh, that was intense. Yeah, that sort of day of just kid intensity and difficulty. But for me, like the actual kid interactions were kind of lovely and fun, and the kids were delighted to like be home from school and have this new fun different thing, and they didn't fight. They were excited about their little homeschool station, and all of the things that would normally put me over the edge were actually fine, which was great. Certainly better than if they hadn't been.
How did school go today?
School, let's put some air quotes around that.
Totally.
I'm trying not to be too crazy and demanding about it, because I think on one hand you want to keep up some kind of structure and sense of like this is a different day than your typical weekend. No funny business around here. We're going to get work done. I want my kids to feel that, but at the same time, this is big. This is a big change for them, and it's scary. And I think it's okay to let them feel like it's kind of fun, and they're off the hook a little bit, at least for a little while, So I'm trying to strike a balance there. I'm trying not to immediately go into like pencils down, let's go, because I want to allow for them to be sort of scared and sort of uncertain and to turn this into, as much as we can, something different and fun. If there's an opportunity to like make it memorable in a positive way, I would love to. But it was all the other stuff that was really, that I was sort of like grappling with while trying to pretend to be a school teacher. I went for a walk. I took the dog for a walk in the afternoon, and every one of the restaurants had a homemade sign in the window that said they were closing, and it just kind of hit me. This is big.
Is this the first day you've really felt that? I mean, what's the week been like? What's build up to this been like? When did you first realize this was not just going to be nothing?
Well, I think today was the first day that was like a completely different day than we've ever had. We all knew it was coming, or we suspected it was coming, and in our own social circles and have sort of joked about this day and how hard it was going to be. But it is, I guess in some ways I should have been more prepared, knowing that it was coming.
I feel like you were more prepared than we were, if you have a homeschool station.
It's not for the kids. It's for me.
Huh. Teacher's lounge? Do you have a teacher's lounge?
I should make one, actually. That's a really good point. We just brought their desk out of their table out of their bedroom and put it in the kitchen, and they meticulously sharpened every pencil in the apartment. And we put a little plant on the table and made a cork board on the wall. I'll send you a picture. And we printed out our little schedule. And yeah, when the going gets rough, I make a list. Once we knew school was closing, this for how long, and then the only way that I can sort of wrap my brain around it is like, okay, got to make a plan, make a schedule, half hour for lunch, 45 minutes for physical activity, and that's the way that I feel like everything is going to be okay. Not actually like I think the kids need that level of structure, but without it, I am sort of floundering. So I don't know. I'm floundering either way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been, I feel like I've been having a slow motion panic attack for 24 hours, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out what to do with it.
Actually, slow motion panic attack is really a good way of putting it. I felt like throughout the day it was more like what do they say, like a gathering moss or a snowball sort of gathering, getting bigger and bigger until the second the kids were in bed. And I was like, I immediately thought, what is this and what is that? And, just imagining all these complex scenarios of terrible things that could happen, and probably many of which will. And I think that's what makes it feel so different and so much bigger than anything I've ever experienced, because I am given to catastrophic patterns of thought and anxiety and imagining imagining my kid falling onto the subway tracks and imagining, this train that goes right by my house going off the rails. And I mean, the way I'm describing it sounds like I just have a train thing, but really it feels like all of these scenarios that in the past have been, that's just Angie sort of letting herself go down a pattern of dark thoughts. And really, a lot of it's probably really going to happen.
It's like when a hypochondriac actually gets sick.
Yeah, it is.
Is there a weird satisfaction in that? You're like, I told you.
I wish I could find some satisfaction. No.
So you guys are leaving town? What is that about?
Well, that's the plan today. We booked a refundable Airbnb out in the middle of the Poconos. We got the idea from some friends who, they just told us we're going to try to escape. And I think last night when I was sort of panicking a little, Dave said, well, we could just look. Let's just look. And it turns out that a lot of vacation rentals are, they're losing all of their reservations. They're not getting new reservations because people aren't traveling. And so we were able to find a place that was incredibly inexpensive, with just a little cottage with 2 bedrooms and Wi-Fi, pet friendly, so we can take our annoying little dog. And, assuming that there isn't a more aggressive travel or shelter-in-place style restriction before Friday afternoon, I think we'll hop in the car and just go. And most of the time, I think that's a good idea. And then other times, again, I start to imagine scenarios in which it's not a good idea. Like, what if we get there and one of us gets sick? What if we
What if
need
you're
gas
not
and all
allowed to
the gas stations are closed?
What if you're not allowed to
What
come
if we're not
back?
allowed to come back? Right. Exactly. So these
I
are all
I would worry about. I
these are
mean,
all things that are going through my head for sure.
I was in a real food paranoia today. I feel
Mm.
like it's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I do all the cooking over here, and I was just like, I need to make sure that I can. It's like it felt like like a solvable problem or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stocked it. Like I feel like we could probably eat for 3 weeks if we had to with what I have in the freezer and the pantry. And
I think
I
that's about where we are too. Yeah.
and you're just gonna bring all that with you?
Um, we're going to bring as much of it as we can. Um, yeah, I think the place has things like toilet paper and paper towels, and um, I think cooking basics, salt and pepper, that kind of stuff. But I think I'm working on a list right now. I'm working on a list of all the things that we'll take and how many meals I can make out of that, and what can cross over from breakfast to dinner, and how much we can anticipate having leftovers that'll stretch across days. And um,
It's a bold plan. I'm it's kind of stunning. I like
really,
you allowed to do that?
I
Just
know, I
go
know.
to a cabin? I mean, why not? If you're gonna be stuck somewhere, you might as well be somewhere pleasant, I guess. But it's, I, I'm sort of gobsmacked by the whole idea, like, and impressed, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we still have 4 days before it's actually the plan goes into effect, which is why we got the refundable version. Because I just feel, even in just the last week, in the previous 5 days, so much has changed. Not only with like the news and the actual restrictions and things that have gone into place, but also just our mindset and how safe or threatened we feel, or how our comfort level with it. So right now, that's the plan. I honestly feel pretty great about it. Um, but again, it's kind of a moment to moment situation.
Well, we're gonna figure this out one way or another, I think. Because what
Yeah,
choice do we have?
yeah, yeah. I think it's going to look very different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks from now.
Oh
I think
God,
that's what's really hard to imagine.
5 weeks? I mean, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
6?
minimum. Yeah, because I'm sure you saw the mayor's. I mean, he didn't seem even a little bit convinced that April 20th was realistic. Um, so I don't know. I think that's the other thing that really sort of choked me up today, was kind of looking through their backpacks and unpacking them and getting their stuff out for their little homeschool station, and just seeing like these adorable little writing projects that they've been working on, and like their partner stuff. And I mean, it's important to them, you know, and it's heartbreaking to see that these, like, it's very possible that like kindergarten is just over for Marion, like that she's experienced kindergarten and that's over. And she was just having such a great year. Like, loved her teacher, loves her teacher's alive. Um, loves her teacher, and it's just tough to see them have such an abrupt stop to something that was so great. And it's a lot of pressure on a parent to try to create um, that kind of content. It's impossible to duplicate with the particular resources and skill set that we have. But
I mean, even if
what choice do we have?
Even if we give up on educational development, like just to the emotional engagement of like friends and
Totally.
that's what I like. How is this? How are these kids going to handle like 6 weeks just with us?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of video chats today with their classmates, which were adorable, but there's really no substitute for the real thing. Because you know who doesn't think that a 7-year-old is really obnoxious? Another 7-year-old.
That's
and
the
we don't have
list.
And we don't have any other 7-year-olds in our home right now. We just have the one. So
yeah,
this poor child, her audience is not particularly receptive to her brand of jokes these days. So I don't know. I'll do my best to laugh at your jokes.
Yeah.
Well, she does the same for me, I guess.
Well, thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
My name is David Hoffman, and this is The Big Shut-In, a production of Race Car Radio.